Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Our guest today is the one and only Yvonne Blaszczyk, President and CEO of BMG Group. Welcome back, Yvonne.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah,
Yes.
great to have you on. Since every time we talk, you're talking about gold and how gold is going to make new heights, and this is just the beginning. And you're right every single time, every single time. So you know what? Let's hope you're right again.
I think my idea today is that the power grid is on fire. The world's power grid is on fire. It's absolutely amazing. This is history in making. So not that the world is divided and erratic, but it seems like we are chasing decoys and nobody is really looking at what is happening. So this is it's fascinating almost every day. Last time we remember we spoke earlier this year, I was predicting gold at $4,000 an ounce, and
Yeah,
hey, we got it. We
yeah.
got it. So it's a fantastic. Previously, I predicted $3,000 an ounce, and I do believe there's going to go to 5,000 or even more next year.
Wow.
However, it is not really a prediction. It is the analysis of geopolitical chessboard.
Right. What's happening geopolitically that you see that's going to be good for gold and of course tough for the world?
Well, it's going to be tough for the world because some of the changes will have a very negative impact on the populations at large, particularly in the financial systems and the kind of financial security. But basically, the world in conflict, the gold prices are very complex, and there's a many variables that affect them. But mostly is as you know, geopolitical tensions. So we have flashpoints all over. Many of them have been avoided or not escalated, but they are still there. So
Right.
one of the things that there is the conflicts, they were kind of a slightly, neutralized. They are still there. There are territorial claims between Guyana and Venezuela. There'll be always a conflict between India and Pakistan. There'll
Yeah.
be always conflicts everywhere in Middle East because those conflicts are ideological and political and
Right.
have many, many, many facets to them that is very difficult for people that they are not in tune with a sentiment or those kind of countries they don't understand to see and appreciate.
Right.
Nonetheless, there is an impact on all of us. There's impact on every single thing that we do right now. Before, gold prices were influenced, or at least people thought they were influenced only by domestic factors like
Right.
interest rates, things like that. We are way beyond that. Now the world has moved, and I mentioned before many times the central bank buying. It increased gold to incredible. They are stockpiling gold, every central bank, for a reason, obviously.
Right.
The market sentiment, the psychological dimensions of investing in gold are changing. And I think people are appreciating it mostly because of the unprecedented returns. I mean, when you think $4,000 an ounce, it's amazing.
Mhm.
So people are noticing, but still they don't know how do they get into this? How do they buy it? How does it relate to them on daily basis? So that's a very interesting thing. And the energy market. Now, also, we spoke last time about all different factors, particularly associated with BRICS.
Right.
For me, BRICS alliance is a major, major factor in the paradigm shift.
Why is
And
that?
uh, because of several things. Number one, the BRICS countries, as you know, they have incredible influence on the markets. When you think about it, they control vast land, people, but they also control most of the oil producing countries.
Okay.
Uh, they control resources, and all of them are pushed to one another's arms by our uh, policies, by sanctions, by all different things. No, no, one country that I would like to kind of focus on uh, is China. As you know, China is one of the founding members of BRICS.
Right.
And China is a been staying kind of in the shadows because everybody was focusing on Russia and current war.
Right.
Everybody was focusing on the Middle East, but people were focusing on other countries, but not really on China. And China has a record. They have about, like, I think, about 380 ton of gold production in 2024.
Wow.
So that means they can actually back yuan with gold.
Really? No way.
Yes. And of course, they had some new reforms now. As you know, they allowing or they are this is experiment for a insurance companies to hold 1% of gold.
Wow.
What that will do is basically will push the prices up. Because if that's the situation, that China's gold strategy is also past domestic production.
Okay.
First, you have the China insurance mandate. It's a significant shift for global gold markets. It will influence prices. It will influence the supply, they will also influence the supply chains, and also there is a geopolitical, a financial markets that are going to be heavily impacted. So China's gold strategy, I think, it's past domestic production. They are systematically accumulating gold from other countries, particularly from the members of BRICS. They using local refining and partnerships across Africa and Asia.
Wow.
Chinese invested in mines in Ghana, Mali, all over the place in order to again amass gold.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stackers. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It will really help the silver and gold community grow. It'll help this channel grow, and I'd really appreciate it. Back to the video. Yvonne, sorry to cut you off. Did you see what Morgan Stanley came out and said this week, where they said they're advising now their clients, instead of going 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds, they're now advising their clients 60% stocks, 20% bonds, 20% gold. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, this is amazing because we've been preaching this actually, BMG.
Wow.
And Nick Barishev, he used to talk about that all the time. That was the diversified kind of way of managing your portfolio.
Wow.
Because you see, what will happen? I think we were so blindsided by the fact that there was a gold standard. We were so seduced by fiat currency.
Yeah.
We're so seduced by stocks and the returns and the misunderstanding of actual gold. And I'm always repeating this: gold is money. The gold was money for 5,000 years,
Yeah.
and it never changed. What only changed is how we place it in our financial systems, how we perceive it, and how we use it. So gold basically fluctuates. I was reading somewhere, popped on my, on my telephone or something. Somebody was saying, "My God, last week gold went down or gold something," and I'm thinking, those people are on medication. Obviously, well, no, maybe they should be, but of course, gold goes up and down. It fluctuates, but
Right.
look on the annual return; it's amazing. But that kind of rhetoric scares people. I also people say, "Oh my goodness, gold is right now almost $4,000. Wow, it's too late to buy. Why should I buy? It's too expensive." I
Yeah.
heard the same story when it was $1,000, when it was $800, because people can imagine that $5,000 now, few years from now, even the purchasing power is going to be much less.
Right. So 5,000 is conservative.
Very conservative. When you look at the shrinking supply, when you look at the stockpiling, so if China stockpiles gold, then Western country will start stockpiling gold.
Right.
Now the question is who really has gold and who doesn't, and how much, and can that be sustainable? I know for a fact, and you know that too, that some European countries have very nice gold reserves, like Poland or Hungary. They can very easily, at some point in the future, to back their currency with gold. Other countries, I'm not sure. Now, the question is, and I really do believe that the European Union is in a very difficult position.
Right.
I don't Europe as much as so beautiful and amazing. Europe does not have the resources, natural resources, no critical minerals. They don't have energy. They don't have enough to sustain themselves.
Right.
So if the supply chain is cut off, they be exposed to paying very high prices from countries they don't have a inexpensive uh, oil or something like or other forms of energy. So what will happen? The cost of having a central government in Europe will become problematic. In addition to it, the policies of central government, European Union, are not exactly resonating with every member of the Union
Why is that?
because the countries in Europe are very diversified.
Okay.
They have different. They have a different history. They have different alliances. They have different mental sets. They are so unique, each of them, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the policies are a bit harsh for a variety of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So there be an opposition there. The other thing is what is going to happen and has to happen, I think. As you know, European Union increased the spending to support NATO.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, Europe is paying. The US is brilliant idea. They paying US for production and supply of military equipment
Mm-hmm.
for the war, and then they give it away.
Why do they give it away?
That's the policy. They supporting, for example, the conflict with Russia.
Right,
So
right.
they will supply, the whatever is required. But even if it's not on to the huge levels, it is still will affect their bottom line. And
Wow.
some of the countries like France, for example, and had huge debts. They I don't know how they're going to sustain that kind of spending.
Now, you said, sorry to cut you off, Yvonne, but you said
Yes.
China is stockpiling gold. And of course, countries like the US and Europe and other countries are stockpiling gold and central banks. A little while back, there was a lot of talk and a lot of, noise about Fort Knox and the United States. Yeah,
Oh, that was funny, actually.
yeah,
The audit. I remember we spoke about that one of your
right.
podcasts.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Well, that audit, I don't know what happened actually. There was
right.
going to be one. I don't think there was ever one. There were just kind of visits. So that's really unknown what really is there or not. Now, even if there is one has to really account, would that amount of gold be able to support the return to the gold standard by United States?
Probably not,
Huge
no?
question. I have no idea. This is the something. This is the question that we will never know the answer, or we will at some point. But at this stage, it's very difficult to kind of even have a position on it,
Right.
because there are both sides of the spectrum. Some sources indicated there will not be enough. Some sources indicate there is nothing there, and some sources indicate that they are just fine.
Right.
But you see, that's only one aspect of this whole equation. Now, there's not only gold, there is silver.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about that, China also is stockpiling silver.
Really?
China is going to be stockpiling also platinum, and I think we spoke about platinum. Platinum is an essential element to production of ammunition,
Oh, really?
explosive, jet fuel. the incredible application in terms of the pharmaceutical industry, farming for fertilizers. And there's only two major suppliers in the world: South Africa, member of BRICS, and Russia
For platinum.
for platinum. The other
Mm.
countries have Canada, has the US, but I don't think they have enough to meet the demand, particularly if there are more military conflicts and where when you need to have a steady supply, notwithstanding the batteries and everything else that platinum is used for. So platinum is poised for a huge shortages, which will of course influence the prices. Silver is actually went up. Silver is, $47 an ounce today, which is really great US dollar.
Hmm.
And it's going to fluctuate, but still is going up, tracking up. I think last time we spoke, historically, platinum had a higher price than gold.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And I still think that at one point they're going to be on par or maybe even exceed the price of gold at some point. Except there's one kind of a point that may not be the case. If gold is an essential pillar in the financial systems, if gold is really money, if there be a universal or at least a return by many, many, many countries to the gold standard, then platinum is going to be on another in another zone, in another space altogether. So there be other influencers that will influence the price.
Right.
But one of the things I think at some point I mentioned to you, but that it was the new system China developed, Russia too. They developed cross-border system similar to SWIFT. It is called China Cross-Border Interbanking Payment System.
Okay.
In 2014 and 15, they were developing the systems. And of course, when sanctions became the reality and the SWIFT was, had to stop allowing the countries under sanction to use the system, there was a lot of a push for China to make their system more effective and broadly used. Well, now what is happening, that Chinese system takes a 7 seconds for settlement.
How much
Swi-
is what is
Swift,
Swift?
3 to 5 days.
No way, really?
Cross-border transactions. China's digital currency bridge settlement system takes 7 seconds.
Wow, I did not
So,
know that.
so imagine if you were, doing a transaction, the kind of financial losses you can endure during that period of time.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used. Is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use. So instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Oh yeah, if you're trying to send money or whatever it is, a
Well,
country.
actually, yes, SWIFT actually does not move money. They simply is a messaging system where banks use to send instructions using standard codes and things like this to other banks in other countries.
But it takes 3 to 5 days while this Chinese.
Exactly. So it's the same. Whether you send the instructions or money is, you still are, in the same kind of situation. So
Wow, I did not know that. That's incredible.
So when you look at all those things, you understand, you say, oh, things are happening. For example, silver, only 30% of global production, comes from mining
30
of
per,
silver,
where does the rest come from?
from byproduct. Is a
Really?
byproduct of mining gold, copper, lead, zinc. So again, mining gold. So gold is not only being solidified as a be all end all. in the financial systems, but also the mining sector is benefiting from it, because in order to harvest silver and other critical minerals, you have to you can use the gold mines to do that.
Wow.
So
That's crazy. Only 30% and the rest is a byproduct.
yes, also something else. There is a declining ore grades. So the ores containing silver are not as higher quality as they used to be. So maybe, I haven't heard about gold, but in silver, so you don't have the same, the veins of silver are not as to produce a certain high production, so which is pushes the cost of production, because it's tougher to extract it.
Wow. So yeah, if it's not like surface level and it's not like primary silver, so now they have to get it more as a byproduct.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna cost more.
Is going to cost more. So now we go, okay, which countries are there? Like, I mean, Canada is, I think everybody has a appetite for Canada, because we have everything. We are, when you think about it, in size, we could be Russia in
Oh
size,
yeah, for sure. It's
in the
massive.
climate, in our resources, everything else. So we have to think about how appetizing we are for others. In the marketplace, it's kind of cool. We have water, we have everything, we have
Trees. We got lots
clean
of
air,
trees.
trees, exactly, and maple syrup.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
no.
but the other countries, particularly in Africa and South America, are very rich in critical minerals and gold and oil.
Wow.
I think we spoke because then another situation is brewing with Venezuela.
Yeah, yeah. What's happening there?
Oh, this is very interesting. So Venezuela, as you know, had a huge change with President Chavez becoming president, and now Maduro has a government.
Right.
They are under sanctions, but Venezuela happened to have the largest oil reserves in the world.
Wow.
Venezuela has the largest oil reserve than Saudi Arabia. They have also, they are ninth in the world with gas reserves.
Wow.
They have huge deposits of minerals from iron, gold, diamonds, everything around the Amazonia is like tall and unexplored territory. They also have sugarcane and other agricultural things. So they are extremely rich in everything that is required or needed by other countries. So, but Venezuela has been battled by their own politics.
Mhm.
They are in conflict with other countries in South America over some other things.
Right.
They have a very bad economic situation. They were Paris of South America, basically, and they've been struggling now for a number of years. So I think Venezuela naturally, with their political ideology, they apply to join BRICS.
Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy, Yvonne, how they are the number one producer of oil in the world, but still their economy is struggling. That's pretty crazy.
Because one of the things that happened, so during the presidency of President Chavez, he nationalized sort of so he changed. There was not enough qualified people. There was no exports, imports. There was once you are cut off, it's like having embargo around you. It's very difficult, and so you kind of die from within.
Wow. Yeah, you can't make
For
money.
so many years. Venezuela used to be an incredibly rich country. I used to spend a lot of time in Venezuela, in Caracas.
Really? Oh, no way.
It is, and I have to tell you, right now, when I hear from people, Venezuela changed a lot. They are really struggling.
Wow.
Most of the, things of the past have changed. It's a very different path. So I think for the survival, they felt that the best way for them is to join BRICS countries under sanction, having a lot of resources, but they were vetoed by Brazil.
Right.
And also they pledged that if they join the BRICS countries, the BRICS alliance, they will give them access to the resources unlimited.
Mm.
Because China would love to have that.
Oh, of course, they would love
You
to.
know,
The United States would hate that if China got involved in.
exactly. So that's why now you can see that the United States is taking some steps, at least to have a some sort of a plan B, how to deal with Venezuela.
Right.
Uh, uh, they already, BRICS countries control most of the oil production and producers in the world. They have, that alliance is extremely uh, uh, they are extremely focused on controlling the international trades, controlling the resources, and having a political impact. But then you have to kind of dig deeper. What are the players of BRICS? Which country is kind of the most? Uh,
Russia, China.
China.
Right.
Russia is dependent on China.
Right. Yeah. You've
This is
told me
a
this before.
this is a friendship that burns your fingers.
Right.
Okay. I saw somewhere on the internet. I saw pictures of Siberia. You'll be shocked. What will happen to the climate in the world? The trees, the beautiful, millions of acres of trees is like a football field, flat.
Wow.
This is like it's shocking. Like some of those pictures, what they will do today, and all of them are sent to China. I understand from some sources that apparently China is producing incredible flooring, wood floor, cheap, fantastic, and they're flooding the international market.
Oh, so then they can control.
From Russian wood.
They'll control the market. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. China does do that with, especially with metals too. They'll flood the
With
market.
metals too,
Yeah.
exactly. But so I think one have to rethink sanctions. I think the best thing would happen if somebody would romance Russia away from BRICS.
Oh yeah, but that won't happen
And that
now.
will not happen, but no. Well, you never know. Do you know
No.
something? Never.
Never say never.
But they have that ship already sailed. However, you never know what might happen.
Right.
Because I think everybody is very deeply ingrained in their own rhetoric and their own policy,
Absolutely.
and the political push is to continue on that path. Um, you can create fear and fear of war or domination. We are very insulated here because of the oceans, and we are pretty far away from a lot of the conflict places, and we have the resources and everything else. But for other countries, it's very important to build alliances. And kind of bringing it back to gold. You see, the common denominator for safety for everyone
It was gold.
is gold. So
Wow.
that's at the end, and of course the other metals, precious metals, have a very very important role. But also silver. Silver is qualified by Washington right now as a critical mineral. Silver.
Really? No way.
So that opens doors for things for to tariffs, stockpiling, tighter controls on import exports, protectionist agendas, because that's hoarding. That's what really occurs.
Yeah.
But what happens to economy in the meantime? What happens to a general kind of a well-being of each country? That's
Right.
the question that we only can guess right now. Right now, when you think, there's a lot of turmoil, division, divisive rhetoric, and problems in the United States. There is a divisive problems in France right now. I don't know how they're going to survive with another prime minister resigning after a few weeks on a job. I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of craziness happening in the world right now, Yvonne, and it's
Exactly.
it's it's it's
Uh,
it's scary.
Exactly. Now, under the radar, when you think about the previous wars, like World War II or World War One, a lot of them were systemic. Like
Right.
World War One would have happened no matter what because of the Ottoman Empire fell, and there were, everybody wanted to have a piece of action. It has almost similar situation is happening right now. That everybody is looking at everywhere else because of all this situation in Europe or in Ukraine. Germany is rebuilding their army.
Really?
And if you remember the history, that was not a good thing. So you don't know what will happen. Everybody's playing a good guy. They want to save the world. They want to stop the conflict. They want to save people. They want to invite them, but at the same time, they are not building the infrastructure to accommodate that. They're not building infrastructure to protect their own well-being for their own citizens, for their countries. They're not providing people with the resources to actually flourish in their own places.
Yeah, you nailed
It's
it.
only exit, and they don't. I never understood. There are some beautiful places that you can just support the development as opposed to do the colonial kind of a strategy.
Hmm.
Also, the population of the world is growing, but at the same time, the lot of population is dying. So
Yeah.
as a net result, I'm not too sure what if we will have the resources, if we have the people that have the skills and ability to carry on a successful, for successful future.
Yeah, no, you
And
absolutely.
but if you hold those systems, if you not say, okay, fine, everything is going to work out, the people will duke it out. There'll be many victims. There'll be also many winners, and that's what will happen. Some of the political fraction will have it suddenly the two, neurotransmitters talking to each other, whether synaptic clefts, going through their brain, and everybody's going to be, good, But at the same time, history tells us that it's a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
I think if we really, you see, China is very, very difficult. They are very hardworking, and they know how to systematically conquer. And I think you have to appreciate how they're protecting their own people. They're looking for resources to bring in. They send people to dominate industry and different things for their own well-being because they could not sustain themselves with
Wow.
that kind of population. And I think historically they tried to limit the population growth, was not that successful. But they have a huge push on a development of strategies that work for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very it's a very crazy world that we're living in, especially with what's happening, in China, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, and what's happening, of course, right now where we are. So it's a very crazy time, Yvonne.
And it's going to be happening in Venezuela. Is going to a lot of the wars are the wars. You see, many times they need the war. The war is required to put some stimulus in the economy.
Right.
The war, some governments support the war because that's the only way for them to stay in power.
Yeah, and that's the only way to keep their economy
Yes.
going too.
Uh, uh, some cannot afford it, but they do it to keep themselves in the power
Right.
because war is very expensive. Uh, who was telling me this? There were some drones came over Poland,
Okay.
and they found out that there were some sort of those reconnaissance drones, which
Mhm.
is like toys. And NATO shot them for $500 million rockets in them. So now we're shooting toys with rockets because there is not enough. I think a way to recognize what is threat, what is real threat, where it comes from, because
Wow.
technology is a very difficult to combat, and the
Right.
world is changing again. So you can send million drones and not even send one soldier. You can have robots that are indestructible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming,
They're
Yvonne.
coming. I've seen the pictures of those robots boxing. This is like a living science fiction. But at the end of the day, it is a slow progress. So by the time we're really faced with robots being in the army, I would like to have a cleaning robot or something, at home. Actually,
I like a cleaning one.
I bought one to clean windows,
Oh
but then
yeah.
I have to stay with the remote control and drink martinis as the window is being washed.
Oh no, that's not good. It has to do it itself.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
But so all those changes are happening, and they only solid, safe is gold. This is a major pillar, I think, of the future.
Absolutely. Well, Yvonne, you've nailed it. Like what you've said to us today, what the teachings that you've given to us, especially everyone in the silver and gold community, I personally really appreciate you coming down because every time we talk, it's more knowledge that we're gaining from you. And of course, what's happening in silver and gold is really spectacular. So I'd love to have you back on in the future. But before you go, I'm going to put the links to BMG in the description before.
Fantastic. But before I go, there's
Yeah.
something to tell you.
Okay.
But I just remember.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know there was a Russian tanker intercepted
No.
just recently? Okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's now it has a free stay on American dime, basically.
Really? No way.
But I do believe that that's a part of that dark fleet comprised of all of oil tankers with a very murky ownership and shady insurance that they are transporting Russian oil to all different
Ah.
countries.
Ah.
So someone is right now having it for millions of dollars free stay, and they know where to find out ownership, but it's not even probably Russia. And
Oh
it's
man.
directly. So this is and the only reason I'm mentioning that there is a lot of a failed intelligence in terms of a spending money, defense money, and being, because there is a influx of a lot of information that is very, very difficult to sort out where to put your resources, especially when the power grid is on fire.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yvonne, I want to thank you so much for coming down and speaking to the silver and gold community. I'm going to put a link in the description below for BMG. As always, such a huge pleasure having you come down. Thank you so much to speaking to me and the whole precious metals community.
And very welcome. Thank you very much for putting our video with Max on it to maximize your
Oh
wealth.
yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
Max. That was really nice. I love that video.
Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
No
Have a
problem.
wonderful evening.
You too. Take care, Yvonne.
Thank you. Bye.